Good evening and welcome to the Gothic Bohemian Salon. This is Julifer. Oh, Captain, my Captain. Robin Williams apparently took his life yesterday, August 11th, Monday. He was found asphyxiated, and the prognosis so far was that he committed suicide. I was unaware that he struggled with manic depression. It should have been obvious, actually, when you watch his performances. It's, looking back, it's so obvious that he was somebody who suffered from those swings of mood that is called by the rather insufficient term bipolar disorder. I use the term manic depression, even though it's not the term that's used generally anymore, because I feel it describes the disorder much more eloquently and accurately. Bipolar disorder sounds like something that's easy and mild. Manic depression sounds like what it is: mania and depression, and dealing with those two things in one's life is a great challenge. There's many challenges in life, but the loneliness that you can feel when your world is turned upside down for no apparent reason, it's a unique challenge. Of course, we're not alone. There's many people who suffer from this disorder. That's something that we should remind ourselves of when we're in the depths of despair. One thing that I wanted to say very pointedly is that if you are in that state right now because you're thinking of Robin Williams and you're feeling that sadness for this loss, if you're courting depression at the moment, just remember that you actually aren't alone. There are many who suffer as you do, and there are undoubtedly people in your life who would be terribly affected if you were to end your own life. So try to remember that if you find yourself going down that path. It's something that we don't often think about, the people that we're going to leave behind, and how our actions are going to affect those people. I've dealt with manic depression for almost my whole life, and I like to think that I have a pretty good handle on it, but it's a struggle every day, and you must take it seriously, whether you're a sufferer yourself or a friend or relative of somebody who suffers from the disorder. Take it seriously. Even people who are just trying to get attention probably need that attention for a very good reason, and if you can at all manage to help in any way, even if it's just to listen, just try to do that. And if you're a sufferer, make a pact with yourself that you're just going to get through the next hour, You're going to stay alive for the next hour, and then make it the next 2 hours, and then the next 3 hours, and then the next day, and then the next week, and then the next month. Don't make any moves toward actually doing anything that could harm yourself, whether it's self-harm such as cutting or picking at your skin or hair, you know, any form of self-abuse or full-blown suicidal ideation. Just put it off. Don't make any moves towards it. This is the best advice that I can give. It's what I've always done to get through suicidal periods. It's also helpful if you have a few people that you've discussed being there for you should you need somebody to talk to. And in case those people aren't available for some reason or other, it's a good idea to have the numbers of your local crisis hotlines available so that you can have someone to call and talk to when you need to. My favorite Robin Williams role, besides the role in Dead Poets Society, is as the genie in Aladdin. We used to quote him constantly, just one word here or there, and you remember the entire spiel. Aladdin, or laddie, I mean, here boy. Yeah, he was an incredible genius, and he will be missed. But I think the best thing to take away from this is the knowledge that depression and manic depression is a struggle, a daily struggle, and even if somebody seems like they're fine, they might not be. So if you were a friend or relative of somebody who suffers from these disorders, be on the lookout. You know, don't get in your friend's face, because it's really not your place to do that, but be there for your friend or relative. If you can be on their call list, it's a good idea. Well, okay, actually what I'd like to do is tell you my coping strategies for dealing with suicidal ideation. The first thing that I do is I put it off. I wait. I don't take any steps. I don't get out the pills or the razor blade or the knife, or, you know, I also don't keep dangerous things in the house. Obviously dangerous things such as guns or poisons, things like that. I try not to have that kind of stuff around. I have a few people that I have arranged to be available should I need someone to talk to. I also have the numbers of my local crisis hotlines and the national crisis hotlines. I'll try to put some of those hotlines, and if there's a website, I'll try to put that down in the down bar too. Otherwise, you can just Google suicide prevention hotline, and I'm sure you'll find what you're looking for. So it's a good idea to have, you know, a family member, a friend, and then somebody who maybe is more like an acquaintance on your list of people to call when you're going through this kind of thing. There are support groups for people with mood disorders. here in the Bay Area, there's a Berkeley support group that meets every Thursday evening at Alta Bates on Dwight off of Shattuck in Berkeley. I used to go to that group, and it was really good group, and it's a place to be around other people who are dealing with the same kind of things that you are, people who understand what you're going through, people who might know of resources for you. They usually have literature, about medication, about the latest breakthroughs in research, things like that. So it's a good idea to see if you can find a support group like that. If you can get into counseling, it can be good to have somebody to kind of talk to on a regular basis. If you haven't explored medication, I highly recommend that you explore medication. Personally, medication has changed my life. I have made a huge turnaround since I got on medication for bipolar disorder or manic depression. Huge change, actually. I think it's kept me alive in a lot of ways. But the other thing that I always do is basically I just let the thoughts pass. I don't take any action towards them. So if I'm thinking about suicide, I don't make a plan. I don't start to put together the accoutrements that I might need in order to accomplish it. I sort of just let the thoughts pass. I guess it's kind of meditative in a way. So if the thoughts are coming and they're coming strong and it's really difficult, I just try to get through the next 5 minutes, and then the next 15 minutes, and then the next half an hour, and then the next hour, and then, so on and so forth. It can be helpful to do something like write out what you're thinking and feeling. That can be really, really useful. Also, if you are having thoughts of self-harm, such as cutting or hitting yourself, which I sometimes have, I find that tearing up paper is very therapeutic, or scribbling, often swear words actually, on a big pad of paper can be really, really helpful. And just in general, finding ways to deal with it that don't involve sinking deeper. For example, I don't put on the sad movie and cry, and I don't crawl into bed and put the covers over my head and that kind of thing, if I can possibly manage to avoid it. I will get out a children's book that makes me really happy and read, or a children's film. Those have always really helped me. I'm not sure why. It's sort of nurturing, I guess. I try not to do destructive things like eat stuff that's not great for me, or cut my hair, or do anything drastic like that. Try not to make major decisions, or don't give things away, or just don't do anything drastic. I'm not sure what else to say. This death has been a real shock, and I know we're all reeling from it. even people who aren't into pop culture, I think, have been touched by Robin Williams' acting. He's done so many wonderful roles and just, you know, been with us for such a long time. And he's a Bay Area guy, so I think we're feeling it here in San Francisco Bay Area even more, in a way. And I just wanted to say to my uncle Arnie, I don't know if you'll ever watch this or not, but I'm sure that you're especially touched. I know that you worked on Awakenings, which I believe is a Robin Williams film, and I'm assuming that you worked with him, so this must hit particularly close to home. And I just wanted to extend my condolences to you for, you know, your own personal loss. And I wanted to thank you as well, because when I left home, as you know, you and your wife, Laurel, helped me find a counselor to talk to right away, and I think that you really saved me from sinking into an even greater depression and despair than I sank into. So I really appreciate that, and you were always very helpful, particularly when I was still living at home. You went above and beyond what's expected to make sure that I was taken care of, and I really appreciate it. I know my parents didn't, but it wasn't for them, it was for me. So to any of my friends that are watching, I hope that you never have to deal with my loss in such a manner. I can't promise that that's not how it's going to go down, because I just don't know, but I am doing my utmost to stay alive and kicking and happy. So you know, hopefully you won't have to deal with all the emotions that come up when you lose somebody close to you to suicide. I want to thank all of you for being there for me, particularly people that have been around lately since I've gotten sick. You've been really great, and I really, really appreciate it. I'm not going to name names or anything, because I'll for sure leave somebody out, and I don't want to do that. But you're all very special to me, and to my family as well. I love all of you very much. My father, I love you very, very, very much. I'm so glad that you're in my life. And I just want to let you all know that I'm working really hard to overcome this illness and to get through every day healthy and happy. So I just wanted you to know that. Anyway, I hope that this video has given you some ideas for what to do if you find yourself in a situation where you're having suicidal ideas or thoughts, or you're in a major depression or mania. Actually, I didn't talk about what to do when you're in a manic state. Maybe I'll save that for another video. But anyway, thank you so much for joining me in the Gothic Bohemian Salon.